They are denying the renewals of non-profit residency permits. Why? For not residing in Spain. If this is your case, you can make sure it isn't withdrawn. And how? Well, we'll explain it to you next.
The reason I managed to prevent the residency permit from being withdrawn is actually simple, and I'm going to explain it. On May 20th of this year, the government issued a new immigration regulation which stipulated that in order to renew a non-profit residency permit, you must have resided in Spain for at least 183 days. Before May 20th, it was not necessary to be living in Spain to renew a non-profit residency permit. Why? Well, because in 2023, on July 5th, 2023, the Supreme Court repealed from the old 2011 regulation the article that stated you had to reside in Spain for 6 months each year in order to renew a residence permit. It was repealed due to a technical issue. The technical issue is that the Supreme Court understood or understands that this regulation must be enacted through an organic law, not through a regulation. An organic law is a more complex law that also requires a majority in Congress, meaning the majority of all deputies plus one. This is impossible to achieve nowadays because there is a great diversity of political parties. There is no agreement, there is no consensus. So the Supreme Court annulled this part of the 2011 regulation. What happens is that on May 20th, 2025, they reissue the same regulation with another decree. The reason is simple. If the Supreme Court says that a regulation cannot establish a rule stating that you must reside in Spain for 6 months or 183 days because it has to be an organic law, well, that's it. We are once again facing the same issue, that it is not correct to apply the requirement to have lived in Spain for these 183 days. What does this mean? This means that if we take to court the denial we have received, the non-renewal of our residency, the court, in principle most likely, will tell us that this trial will be favorable. But that's not what's important. What's important is to achieve that when we go to file the lawsuit, the claim, at that moment we request that our residency not be withdrawn. Subscribe. This is provided for in our legal system, in our law. Our law states that if someone has a right and an authority tries to take that right away from you, like if I have residency and immigration tries to take it from me, if I file a lawsuit until the trial is over, they have no reason to withdraw my residency. Why? Because if the trial takes about 2 or 3 years, it turns out that I am left without residency. And if the trial is favorable, what happens then? That I have lost. These years of residency have harmed me, so it can't be allowed. That's why our legal system already provides that if we request it, they cannot take away the right we already have. This is the foundation and the most important thing. Not just that we win the trial, but that they don't take away our residency until the trial is over. That is very important. And of course, there is also a good chance that we will win the case, and above all, that we will be able to keep our residency during these years. This firm has brought together all the clients who have non-profit residency as well as other clients. Other firms and other clients are also joining a lawsuit in which we are trying in a single court, in a single claim, to include as many affected people as possible, people who have been denied or are going to be denied residency. Why are we doing it this way? Not only because the cost will be much lower, very small, but also because the more people join this lawsuit, the greater our chances of being granted. This initial request for them not to take away our card is much more likely. And above all, we can also put more pressure to win the lawsuit. The more of us there are, the better. But most importantly, the more of us there are, the greater our chances of not having our residency taken away. Well, that's all, and I hope I have explained clearly the possibilities you have to keep your residency. And in the end, I managed to not have it taken away and to keep it again. Best regards.
Thank you very much for your attention. We are here to help you with whatever you need. You can contact us through this WhatsApp or this email. Thank you very much. Best regards.